The kind of coach that they needed at that moment. Zack Moss. Moss still on his feet, and he is in. Touchdown.
All right, looking at my Gucci. It's about that time. Welcome to Moneyball. I have with me today Mr. Zack Moss. What's up, fam?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for taking some time. I'm sure y'all recognize the name right off the jump. If you don't, Zack is currently an NFL running back with the Indianapolis Colts, formerly of the Buffalo Bills. He was drafted in 2020. Much to my dismay, he's no longer with my home team, Bills. And we'll jump right into that here because I was I was displeased. Let me put it that way, Zack, with the way that you were used here in Buffalo. And I'm not the only one, so I'm going to jump right into that just because I think it's so important to the fans in Buffalo or anyone. Like, I feel you were not utilized correctly. To me, you're a 1 through 3 back, right? My opinion. You are an absolute dude. Your running style is amazing, right? I just love you. Bully right through people, take people down like a Bo Jackson, who's my favorite athlete of all time. Those are some real, big shoes to fill, maybe. But I just don't feel like you were utilized here. How would you describe yourself as a running back? And tell me a little bit about your time in Buffalo.
I think first, just talking about myself as a back. I think I am a guy. I like to see myself, and I, prepare and train to be a guy who can do everything on the field, as in being on the field each and every down, not having a weakness where I have to come off the field. Whether that's catching the ball, obviously running the ball, and pass blocking, which is huge in our league right now because everybody loves to throw the ball, and you got the main guy who is the quarterback, so you got to keep him clean, keep him healthy. We're kind of an extension of the offensive line, so I take a lot of pride in that as well. But I think my running style is downhill, hard to tackle. That's the way I try to go into a game, set the tone and things like that, and it's easier to do that when you're kind of the guy in a sense when you get more of the carries, not only maybe 6 to 8 carries a game, which is hard to get into that mold and get into that vibe. And it's the whole thing. But that's definitely my play style. Hard nose, tough tackle, grinder, and that's all the way I've always played the game from when I started playing running back. My senior year in high school is when I officially started playing running back.
Oh, really? Is that when you started playing? Is that when you started playing football or just running back?
Just running back. I started playing football in about 10, but I always played linebacker.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was super late bloomer. Didn't really have a lot of, I wouldn't say about a love, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't so deep into football like, growing
Yeah.
up in Miami. I wasn't deep into football like everybody else, kids my age was.
That always blows my mind, man. When I see somebody as talented as you are, and I hear somebody always say, they'll say like, oh man, I didn't start playing until X, or like you didn't start playing running back until senior year of high school. And I mean, you're in the National Football League, man. And in my opinion, one of the best backs. It's crazy, and were you playing other sports?
No, strictly football. I have a huge love for basketball. That's more just a hobby. Um, but football was the main thing I was doing. Kind of just playing linebacker, kind of just going through it. Didn't really, think about the NFL. Honestly, didn't really think about college in a sense until my junior year when I first got my first tryout to play running back.
Okay.
And things went kind of well, but two guys beat me out, two seniors. My junior year, so I just played running back very sparingly, probably you know 20% of the season, and the
Yeah.
other was linebacker. So then I ended up transferring out of that school and went to play somewhere else and played running back for the first full season ever. And ended up, having a good season. A lot of great talented players as well. But so that's just how I started playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guys I watched, Aaron Foster, Mark Collins, just guys who got downhill real quick.
Yeah. Yep.
Not previous, not all that type of stuff. But just those are the guys that I watched that I modeled my game after. That I thought I had, at that time, grow into a similar body type. And could see myself doing those things. So that's definitely what my game was at. Buffalo, my time in Buffalo was great. No matter what, it was great from the standpoint of, I think one, just the people I was able to meet. When you come into the NFL, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
At my time when I came in, it was way more going on. National anthem things,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
downhill.
Yep.
That was crazy for me coming in. And then obviously on top of that, was COVID.
Yeah.
Right, 2 years technically um, in COVID, and my first year was rookie year, and we had fans in the stadium, and just nothing. So my first full year experience it's hard to kind of explain because no one else, unless you literally probably wasn't rookie, or in the league at that time, could
Right.
even imagine how that is and how that went.
Yeah,
But
that's got
I
to be
think,
that's got to be mentally tough, right? I mean, you know, trying to go out there and perform for fans, but there's no fans there.
yeah, I mean, for me, I don't ever try to perform for fans. I always try to
Okay.
perform for myself and my family first
See,
of
I love
all.
that. I love that.
So when no fans, it was weird because you always grow up with having people in the stands.
Yeah.
But not having fans, I think for me at least, I can't speak, obviously for all players, but for me, the main thing was always the main thing was to go out there and try to be the best player I can be on that Sunday or whatever day it was. But Buffalo was good from the people I met, the relationships I built, teammates, um, staff in Buffalo, the trainers, um, just everybody, weight room guys, like everybody that I met, um, that kind of helped mold me into becoming a better player for one, and just kind of learning to understanding the business of the NFL and
Yeah.
kind of seeing that through that lens. And it was great because I was on a team that was winning, right? So obviously, we were winning at that time, and they still are winning, but so we had done a lot of good things in those 2 3 year run, and that helped speed up a lot of things for me and realize what's going on around here and the time limit that you have as a player technically. But I think from that standpoint it was great. Wouldn't take anything back. Obviously on the field, um, I didn't give it. I didn't get it. Obviously, I didn't feel like I was used as well. But that's you know that can be chalked up to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, I don't really ever dwell on that anymore.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
think, obviously, the things that I went through in Buffalo, the lack of carries, the lack of playing time, the offense that I was in. Obviously, the offense is mainly, when you play with a guy like
Right.
a hell of a time, right? When you play with a guy like that, it's very hard. And I can say this because I've been there.
Of
And
course.
anybody with 2 eyes can see, when you play with Josh, the offense has to kind of shift to him,
Of course.
right? Because he's so good and he can do so many things,
Right. Right.
right? And the past two OCs that were there, obviously, and Davo, who's the coach, knew how to use Josh perfectly, right? And I mean, at the time, nobody had seen what he was doing, so it was kind of all brand new in a sense. Um, and then obviously when Dorsey followed suit behind that, it kind of got a little stale on the offense on how, dressing it up. And,
Yeah.
every week you got to figure out a way to hide new plays, to hide verbiage.
It's got to be
Always come up
fresh.
with,
It's got to be fresh again, right? I mean,
yeah, TV copies, all the film that guys watch, formations and things of that nature. I think it got a little stale. And obviously when it moved on from him, when I can't remember his name, Joe Brady came in,
yep.
they started using James a lot more. And James is a hell of a player, man.
He
James is
is.
I've known him for a while. Obviously,
Okay.
playing, probably grew up less than 10 minutes away from each
Oh, no kidding.
other.
No kidding.
Yeah. So, when they started using James more, I was like, man, I wish, that was the style that we were playing with,
I
right?
know.
And James, like you see him have 1,000 yards, right? And you see him have 1,000 yards, and you see him only have probably 2 touchdowns rushing, right? because that's just the offense. The offense is
Right.
so hard for a running back to really flourish in that offense the way you may think they should or could. It was games where James getting carries and then, moving on from Dorsey and things changed and then came a lot more run dominant and, even Diggs got things out of the offense, which is
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And
He
it's
did. Yeah.
because he got pulled back so hard from being so explosive, which then also leads to turnovers, right? And playing a certain style of ball, right? So the defense wasn't healthy. No, lost a lot of guys in defense. So
Yeah.
it's just it was so different. But I'm happy I was happy to see James, eclipse 1,000 yards and use the backs kind of the way, that I wish they would have used me and Motor in a sense. But I think everything happened for a reason.
Sure.
Obviously, I've gone on to do different things now. Obviously, Motor's been terrific in Houston and things of that nature. So,
Yep.
we always knew that we could play at this level was never, not in that. I think, this league is all about opportunity, man. This is like the real world. You
Right.
can't really move up in your job unless you have opportunity, right? So what you can do. So, with opportunity, you can really get that much success going on. But, yeah, I think overall, Buffalo was great just from standpoint of growing up, just my own personal life, becoming better, becoming smarter, doing different things across the league, and now I'm going into year 5. It's
Year
just a different.
5. Wow. It's year 5 already.
It's kind of moving.
It does. I mean, listening to you say all this stuff, and there was so many. I was trying to gather my thoughts because there was so many things that you hit, the nail on the head, man. And so many of your thoughts, I share the same sentiment, right down to the usage of Cook, to your usage. And I can tell that you're just an absolute student of the game, right? For you to be that knowledgeable with the current offense on a team you're not even on just says you're such a football mentality. It's crazy and it's really impressive. And I gotta say, man, like there's a lot of things I respect about you. You stayed the extra year at Utah, right? I know that I think you went back and you got the degree after, but you stayed the extra year. And that was a pride thing, like from what it sounds like, you wanted to go and complete it. And you had some unfinished business. It sounds like, man, you shattered every record over there and just really, showed what type of back you are. And I think that says a lot about somebody too, though, as a person, right? You knew that going in after your junior year, you were going to get drafted, man, for sure. But you stayed and you finished out that year. And I guess maybe starting running back later in high school, do you think that preserved you a whole lot? I mean, do you think, you weren't running since you were running, you were playing linebacker, but not being a running back, do you think maybe that preserved you a little bit and that helped you out?
Yeah, it definitely did. You know, if I look back on it, I'm like, if I played running back from, some guys and, from 12 years old to
Yeah.
now, YouTube and trying to add different things to my tool belt and just kind of experiencing what I had with the skills and the talent that I had at that
Yeah.
time. And then when I got to college, you know, being in that type of program at Utah was taught me a lot of hard work real quick. I played to take that, that mindset I had in Miami and, oh, I'm the best, even if I felt like that,
Right.
and just apply that, you know, add hard work to it and the consistency and dedication that it's going to take to get where I want to get to. And, going to Utah gave me the opportunity to have those things bestowed upon me, right? Just like being around guys that really work super hard, right?
Yeah.
Utah's
Yeah.
not a program, and it's getting to that point now, but in 2016, it wasn't a program where you just run around with 5 star guys and
Right.
just wake up and do whatever on the field. Like these guys just coming in with or playing with already there for guys that may have been overlooked,
Right. They're
or
all
people
they,
who
they
were
all had they all had something to prove. Yeah,
all
they're
from the
all yeah.
blue.
Yep.
So guys just worked really, really, really hard. And I know I have like talent that was on tap. So I got around some guys that were older than me in my room, or guys that just were
Smart.
older.
Smart.
And just try to work. Obviously, I had a lot of learning curve as a freshman. But I learned so much. Just starting 2 games as a true freshman and then getting hurt, sitting back, then losing that position, and then kind of being the second back the rest of my freshman year. But all that anger, all that, just like I want to play, and
Yeah.
then the learning that it took, and okay, now let's kind of take care of your body, things of that nature. I had time to sit back and learn those other things that was great for me. That now, when I look back at it, I'm like, man, my freshman year was my greatest year
Yeah.
because I ended up learning way more than
Right.
running 4,000 yards, right? Just being able to understand the different things, the nuances of the position, and
And
really taking time.
not to interrupt you, but I think people, they don't understand that. They'll look at it and say there's some people that are just stat heads and they're so obsessed with stats and numbers, and they don't see that, hey, taking a year and learning, from some more experienced players, and even grasping an offense, right? So that you can really get a good grip on it, come in the next year and be like, man, I know this, I'm going to go out and prove it now because I can do this, So yeah, man, I mean, listen, everything you did speaks for itself as far as Utah goes. And again, I like your attitude even with Buffalo, right? No regrets, man. You came here, you met some friends, it gave you the opportunity now to get to where you are now. Congratulations on the season you had last year, man. I followed it very, very closely because I am a fan of yours. So I did follow it closely. And, I think nobody ever wants anybody to get hurt, right? I mean, we just don't, right? As a human being, at least most of us don't. I mean, but when you have that opportunity to seize, and let me tell you, man, you grabbed hold of it and you showed a lot of people, what you're truly capable of that didn't get to see it in Buffalo. Tell me a little bit about, how this season was for you. Do you feel like you finally got, your shot, your shot to shine here a little bit? Tell me how the Indy season went.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when I got traded to Indy, I didn't know how I was going to go. Obviously, I knew we had JT there, and obviously we were in the same grad class, and I knew what JT did in college, and I know what he's already doing in the league.
Right.
Played him twice in the league up to that point, and he dominated us both times. One game he had like 5 touchdowns in Buffalo.
I
So
remember.
from that standpoint, when I remember when I got traded, and most people don't know we were asking for a trade already. Like we were asking to be moved
Okay.
just because things weren't moving the
Yeah.
direction that we wanted to. Um,
End of the day,
so
you got to do what's best for you and your family. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah. But I just wanted to say that because a lot of people just always think certain things, and
Right.
but like I got a lot of respect for people in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Bean and Coach McDermott, those guys did me a crazy solid, by allowing me to kind of move me at
Yeah.
that time in the season versus, it was literally the last day of the trade deadline. Probably like an hour before the trade
Was it
deadline
really?
ended, literally. And they gave me a huge solid by, making something shape. Um, and, those two guys are the ones that drafted me. I always tell guys that when you come into the league, know who drafted you. You know what I mean? Like, if it was the coach, right? Because if it's the coach, then
Right.
you might hang around for a bit.
Right.
If it's
Right.
the GM, you'll hang around for a bit. But
Right.
then if it's offensive coordinators and it can be a little different. But I
Yeah.
knew who drafted me, and I was McDermott and Bean, and we always had a great relationship. So, them doing me that solid, just talking to them through that whole process on that day was great. And when I found out it was Indy, right? They could have called anywhere and put me in a similar offense.
Yeah.
But putting me in an offense like that, and giving me a chance to go to a team that really prioritizing running the ball
For sure. Yep. Yep.
great. But when I got to Indy, so much going on. Frank Wright, obviously playing in Buffalo,
Yep.
great guy. But the culture moving on from him.
Yep.
The same week I got there, they had just fired the offensive coordinator the day before I got there.
Wow.
So I walk into this and at the time, losing
Welcome to Indy.
record, I'm catching up on all this stuff and I'm trying to learn new teammates.
You're like, yo, who's my coach? Who's my OC?
Yeah, I'm just sleeping in the hotel for about a couple of weeks. So I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
because you go from being in Buffalo on Tuesday to being in Indy on Wednesday, and
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like
roller coaster, man.
no break, no nothing. So you just gotta go. But when I got to Indy, like I said, obviously we had JC. I didn't know anybody really else on the team. You know, mainly outside of playing those guys
Right.
before. Um, but obviously JT had the injury. I think me and JT probably played maybe 2 games when I got traded there, and then he injured the ankle
Yeah.
versus the Vikings. And when that happened, I ended up starting the rest of the game, that Vikings game, and I just kind of got pushed into that situation. So that was kind of just a blur, really. But every week after that, kind of just got back into that mode of where I'm a starter.
Yep.
Teams relying on me. Even we weren't winning games at all. We won one game. It's just in that time period.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you want to win, but you also want to put a good product out there,
Sure.
right? And I
Sure.
know we had good guys on the team, and things just didn't click, for whatever reason that year. But every week I got better. I
Yeah.
got more comfortable. I got back to that player that I know I am. I was
Yep.
in there, and then took that momentum and I closed that year out with my first 100-yard game. Um, yeah, in Indy,
Yep.
and close out that year and just have all that momentum, just kind of just rolling, feeling really good, feeling
Mhm.
confident. I have been healthy the whole year. Come into this off season healthy again. So I could really train and push my body to where I wanted to be at. So obviously we got new coaches and all that stuff, and then OTAs. The guy Coach Shane coming in from Philly, and it's same offense. The offense we ran last year
Right.
to this year is literally
Right.
the same thing, just the quarterback. So you can
Yeah.
add the RPO side to it, and
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it makes the offense way more dynamic, right? So that was big for me. Okay, great. Like, and I know he loves to use more than just one guy.
Right.
So yeah, Shakespeare's is the guy. I mean, damn, if he was on my team, I'm the head coach.
Yeah. Yeah. He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, it's like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, maybe he's more than one guy. I mean, just the way he did it in Philly, different guys touching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that standpoint, I was, still excited and ready to go. And, all the stuff we did to kind of happened, from contract to, pushing back the injury and kind of getting better from there and things of that nature. Um, so I didn't know anything about it. Kind of figure out what's going on and things like that. So I just focused on my job. And, it came down to it where, I had to do something at this time. I'm going back in OCAs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back in training camp. So I can't dwell over there. I got to worry about, this right here. So, I was able to put together this good camp, the OCAs. Obviously, I ended up breaking my arm
Yeah.
in training camp on
That
the
was
first
in. That
day
was
of
in
full,
training camp.
yeah, the first day of full pass. I ended up breaking my forearm, and you know, instantly, you try to, guys like say, oh, you don't get it, all you don't see, things of that nature. But everyone has social media.
Yeah.
Even, like some guys accept your name, some guys they don't.
Yeah.
Some people just tag you on things and you can't
Yeah.
not see it.
Yeah. You got no
So,
choice.
I remember the news broke form and people like, wow, you missed out on opportunity, and, yada, yada. But, me, I'm a big believer in Christ. My faith is super strong. So that's having that happen to me
Yeah.
wasn't, something that shook me um, dramatically as people would assume it would if you're like,
Right.
maybe just broke your arm. And then obviously I didn't have a lot of how would I and wouldn't have pictured the season going the way it did
Right.
coming off an injury like that. But, God fixes toughest things to bring us through to the
No
right
doubt, man.
moment.
You
And,
seem to have recovered. You seem to have recovered from that injury really fast too. It seemed
yeah,
like it, anyways. I mean, maybe not to you, right?
it was real tough at the beginning. But, the training was got me right, and just working hard trying to get that thing ready. I knew I was going to miss maybe 2 games.
Okay.
potentially. And I know that obviously the season opener was no go.
Right.
But after the season opener, felt really good, and I just made a lot of progress real quick in
Yeah.
a short amount of time in those last 2 weeks, to where I felt good, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready. And obviously, I had broken this arm before, the same injury in college, so I knew what pattern I wanted, I knew
Right.
what I can do, what I can't do, what I feel comfortable doing. Obviously, on a way bigger level with way better guys.
I mean, if you're gonna break something, it might as well be the same injury, so at least you're familiar with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
This rehab, I know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
doing. So, from that standpoint, things kind of really just, went well. I really come back with two. And, like I said, we already had a good team. I already knew guys, and I say team like a really on speak about the offensive side. I play defense. But
Right. Right.
the offensive line, I knew we had one of the best offensive lines in the league. I mean, I think all those guys have maybe two in at the right position, left guard, the center, and the right tackle.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
three of those guys.
They're beefed up for sure. Yeah.
All three of those guys were major players. I'm playing Nelson, Ryan Kelly, like Pro Bowl guys, right? And JT had just ran for like 18 yards.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah. 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 It's not a bad line to come into, man.
yeah, I'm like, man, I can't run behind these guys.
I'm hanging
It
up the
might be
cleats, right? I'm hanging it up.
it might be bad. It might be over the but so going into that, that second game of the year, I already knew what I had. Played with these guys in training camp. It's a little rusty, bad, but just being in camp with them, knowing what I had, playing with them last year, and you add AR to that equation,
Yeah.
and what he brings to the table, and one of the guys was kind of gelling on the side in the passing game and things like that, and
It
you
seemed
know,
like, and sorry to cut you off again. It seemed like, with AR, like the guy seemed to be having fun, right? Like he brought something, I think, and I'm not a super close Indianapolis Colts. I wasn't following them real closely, but throughout the years with Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, and but it seems like the last few years, it didn't look like a team that anybody was having a real good time on. You know what I mean? And then this year, like you and everybody, right? There was just even with your big receiver you have there. Oh my God, who's your guy? Who's your main receiver over there at the Colts?
Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman. I'm sorry, man. I just had a complete blank. But you guys were just, it looked like you were having fun on the football field again. And maybe that's how I read it. Every time you'd see highlights or whatever, man, you'd run one in from 6-7 out, and these guys would be just going crazy. And it seemed like it was fun football again. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think guys did have a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and just being pushed the way Coach Shane came in. It's hard to kind of rewrite a lot of the bad stuff that maybe happened in the past. A lot of these guys have been on this team for
Right.
guys they brought in for 2, 3 years already, so this was like home to the
Yeah.
team. And when Coach Shane came in, instantly kind of just made everybody feel stable.
Yeah.
This team felt stable. No one knew if we were going to win 5 games, 10 games. Like no one knew
Yeah.
how many games we were going to win with the roster that was constructed. But we knew we had a good chance. Because even last year, when they brought in Jeff Saturday, and everybody was like, wow, what's going on? Like things of that nature, but still inside our building, even with Jeff, guys respected Jeff
Yeah.
because of who he is and how he played the game.
Right.
If you look at those games last year, a lot of those games we weren't getting blown out. In those games,
Oh, for sure.
with playoff teams,
Yep.
right?
I think a lot of people
And
thought Saturday was going to stay.
I think so. Um, but I think they definitely made the right decision
Yeah.
and getting someone who been coaching,
That's the thing. That's the thing.
in
Yeah.
for a long time. So with Shane, we definitely got it right. But guys just felt stable, guys had fun, and then you bring AR in. That's the guy everybody wanted. Everybody in the city wanted
Yeah.
to get AR. And we got him, and you see him and you see the talent that he has. I mean, the dude, he has the talent. And I like, obviously, like I said, I played with Johnson. I know
Right.
what talent looks like.
Right. Right. Right.
So this dude has all the talent
Yeah.
in the
I like
world.
him a lot. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he has a ton of talent, and he's just getting better and better and better week by week. I mean, from the jump from OTAs to
Right.
training camp,
Right.
it's a big jump for a guy who only had like 13 games in college, right? Um,
Total. That's all he's played. That's all he played.
he played about 13, 15
Oh
games in
wow, man.
college.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Super raw talent, but just the work ethic, like to stay in, get in super early, stay in late, extra meetings. Like this dude was really doing all these things.
Those are the guys that stand out, man.
Yeah, and he's getting better. So I'm super excited, when he gets back next year to see, that offense, what it really looks like, with AR being fully healthy, JT being fully healthy, the guys around him being fully healthy, and,
So
starting
I
the
think
year off.
you're answering for the people here. This is where Zack wants to end up. He wants to stay. He wants to stay in Indy. So I think it's a really good fit for you, man. To be honest, and just after what you just said, it sounds like we're just breaking the ice here, man. I think that team's got some talent, some explosiveness, and like that could be a team where like I'm a Atlanta Braves fan, right? And when all the new crew came up, it was the baby boomers, the baby Braves, right? And there's this excitement created. Not that y'all are babies at this point, right? You're going on year 5 again. I don't know where the time went, but with AR and then kind of his surrounding cast, you're all young. Pittman, JT seemed as class as you, so I think that could be a super exciting team, and I think you guys could really make a run, do some damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um,
But look what Houston was crazy, dude. I mean, Houston, nobody expected that, man. That was wild.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely, I wouldn't say up for the grabs, but it is a league. I mean, the division that, the team that is the hottest
For
at the
sure, dude.
moment. Houston
The
got
parody, the parody this year was like I've never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? Like there was maybe what 2 or 3 teams in the league that were your bottom dwellers, that had a couple wins, and everybody else was competitive, man. And even those bottom dwellers, they weren't losing 55-3. Like that, they were hanging in there,
yeah,
Let's
they were,
let's get to some fun parts here to this interview, man. I mean, I could sit and talk to you forever, but I'm sure you got some other stuff to do. Congrats on the family too. Are you having another baby? Is that what I heard?
yeah, we are.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I have 3 boys, and there's nothing like it in the world, as far as fatherhood goes. So
Yeah,
it's
thank you.
really. Now, you a hip hop fan at all?
I am, yeah.
All right, so I gotta ask, man. I'm gonna start throwing some curveballs into these interviews a little bit. You got Biggie in your top 10?
I think I would put him top 10. Mind you, my hip hop, uh, you know, doesn't go back as far as the 80s. So,
I always forget you guys are so young, dude. Like you're so young, man. You
yeah, I
know?
got respect for a lot of those guys. I just can't, I think guys like Rakim and those type of names in
Yeah.
the late 80s, early 90s. It's kind of hard for me to say those are my top 10, but I think you have to respect the work they did.
Who you like right now? Who's the hottest out right now?
Um, How does that right now? I love.
This is I'm a Wu Tang man, tried and true. This is just some RZA stuff, but it's always sits behind me. I got Wu Tang tattoos and everything, man.
Yeah,
Who you like
yeah.
right now, though? I gotta hear it.
J. Cole is my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
rapper right now. I think Cole, Kendrick Lamar,
yeah,
um, and then kind of to just open it up after that because
yeah.
other guys like, and then they're all really good in their own way. A lot of those guys just kind of like, different style of street rappers, trap rappers, and things of that nature. So
How about them Buffalo boys, though? What about Griselda and Benny the Butcher and
I like, I
Conway?
like Benny. I like Benny. I met Benny a few times, met
Yeah,
Conway a few
yeah.
times.
Oh man, they are such crazy, crazy Bills fans. Like they're
Yeah,
nuts. Yeah.
I respect their grind. I definitely listen to Benny. Definitely listen to his last 2 albums. He just dropped a new album like, a
Yeah,
week
he's
ago.
with he's with Def Jam now, man. He's moving.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, definitely respect their grind, things like that. So Benny's definitely real good. I listen to Benny quite a bit, probably definitely more than the other two guys.
Yeah, yeah. They're all doing big things right now, man. I gotta ask you. So I order a pizza, right? We're gonna order a pizza tonight. You going olives or mushrooms or neither? Neither. All right. What are you going with on your pizza?
That's pepperoni for me, man.
See, that's where I'm at now too, man. I don't like all the other stuff on it. I like the burnt, cupped up burnt pepperonis. Buffalo does it right with pizza, right? What was your favorite? I gotta ask you, man. What was your favorite chicken wing joint when you were in Buffalo? Okay. All right. Shout out to Bar Bills. Although Elmo's is my sponsor, man. They sponsored a show. You ever have those?
Been to Elmo's. I've been to Elmo's. But
So
I've always kind of just went to bars. I think that's mainly where,
yeah.
the guys I
Yeah, yeah, and it's easy, it's close. Like I got to travel a little bit for Elmo's, but I think it's worth it. I took Stevie Johnson there last time he was in town, man, and those things you got to order them the right way. If you're when you're back in Buffalo, if you come to see Nolan or whatever, you got to get the Cajun double dip Cajun, and they're just you can't touch them, bro. You can't touch them.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'll take you out for sure. If somebody turns the radio on, you going forget the hip hop because we know you like that and I like that. You going rock or you going country?
So,
Or are you just turning the radio? Are you turning the radio off?
I don't listen to neither one, but I would have to go country, just because I'm more mellow, I guess. So I think country is a little bit more mellow than rock.
You know what, man? You're a cool dude, and you have this laid back, chill personality. And then I see you out on the football field just beating people up, and it's like, man, it's like I don't want to get this guy angry, man. He's like Hulk comes out. I got Freddie Jackson tomorrow morning. I'm doing, and they used to call him the Hulk. And like he didn't run anything like you. He knew how to run. Don't get me wrong, but man, I'm telling you, I love watching you run. It's like I say a bulldog or like a compact Derrick Henry, just going out and just barreling people over, man. This was a lot of fun. I can't thank you enough, Zach, for coming on and spending some time with me. Anything else you want to shout out? You got any charities or anything you want to shout out?
No, man. I mean, just appreciate you allowing me to come on your platform. And spend some
Absolutely.
time and talk about. I always love trying to do as many podcasts as I can.
Awesome. Love it, man. Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, man. So good luck wherever you end up. I think something tells me it's going to be Indy. Whatever you do, wherever you go, man, good luck. Nothing but the best to you. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, my man.
Take care, man.